it's really fascinating to me. Um, and kind of like now I when I started, I told Beijing when I started using fiat, now it's such a different perspective than just growing up normally. Like when you use it, you don't have an
Yeah.
awareness over like any of it. And now it's like, ew, I don't want to use this anymore. You know what I mean? Like honestly.
Man, you already there. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Wow. Where are you? Have you been a very good student in school as well? You would learn and like.
Good student is a little stretch.
Oh, oh,
I'm I'm
overestimation.
yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a bad student in the fact that if I really want to learn something, I love learning and I can open my mind and be curious about something, I guess would be the right word. I can really want to like learn it and take it in, but I'm not good at kind of the classes that I don't really feel like I ever need
Yeah.
that I have to take. I'm not the student that's like, oh, I have to get an A, so I'll just like, force my way to study something that I'll forget in 20 minutes. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm a good learner. I'm not a good student. How about that? I'm good at learning, but I'm not a good student.
How about that? I love it. I love it. Hey,
Bro, I
Meijing.
would even say that you're an amazing student because you are curious as you need to be on the things that matter. And I think that
Mm.
that's the biggest thing. So that's what matters most. Meijing, it's so good to see you. You look super pretty.
Thank you. I had to dress up today because I'm at a conference. I'm at FOA,
Amazing. Are you at Poa? Yeah. Where in Poa? In Mexico?
Mexico. I love this environment. The Latino community is the best. They're so open, they're so giving. We have some
Yeah.
really amazing youth here. So it's cool. I'm connecting with the community.
Amazing. Please give everybody that you see my best. I'm super
Mm.
grateful to see you. And today we get to talk about how we can be the change. So I'm excited to really bring that
Yes.
out and get
Yes.
you guys to shine and continuously. Do you guys want to share a little bit about what you're currently working on? What's the project? And just kind of define what's coming up in the near future for you both.
Yeah, so right now we're working predominantly towards the Youth Leadership Festival, which will be a 5-day festival from July 15th to the 20th, just outside of Malala, Oregon. And it's really focused on giving young leaders and change makers kind of more of a clarity into who they are as people, as well as helping them build their sense of collective unity so that they
Mm.
can go out and take like action and initiative in the world from a place of first of all knowing themselves a lot more and having a lot more, as we're saying, integrity and responsibility, as well as of other people and of themselves. So that is the focus of the festival that we're working on, and we really want to change the way that people are taking action, whether it's as an activist, as a could be a business person, it could be a musician, it doesn't matter. But this future generation, we want to help positively impact the way that they're doing things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
So
Meijing, do you want to add
that's a bit
anything?
about.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would add is, yeah, the sense of responsibility of making sure that what they're doing is for it's way bigger than them. So a lot of the reasons why we end up doing what we do is because of money or because something that's just external we've been conditioned to follow. So we really want to break that and have people feel comfortable with and supported. And that's the space that we're building for that festival. It's that space where people can say, okay, I can do it. And I have the tools and I have the mentorship and I have the community. So it's super important. So we're giving them the tool of the wisdom, the insight. We're giving them mentorship and we're giving them a community. So those three tools are super important for growth. So that's what we're doing. And Saint's here. Saint's one of my favorite too. We invited him over. Hi, Zane.
Zane's been
Uh,
working
Oh,
with us.
Zane,
Hey
can you
guys,
share a little bit about yourself? I would love to get to know a little bit about you, brother.
for sure, for sure. I'm actually from Pakistan, and I work as a data analyst in a company, in a local company here in Pakistan. And I'm also been working with Beijing for a long time. I mean, we worked on a very interesting projects together. And right now we're on this journey together where we're building this RQ Global. Um, and we're very excited for the youth festival that we are hosting. So yeah.
So
Yes.
amazing to meet you, brother. Very grateful.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Hey,
It's a great pleasure to be here. And I'm really sorry for being late. I was actually stuck in the traffic.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
You're right on time.
Okay, that's great.
Sagitas, do you want to share a little bit about yourself before we continue?
yes, hello, Zane. We haven't met. I will put my camera in a short time on. Um, what about myself? Yeah, curious awareness. That's and exploring life, exploring the whole earth, traveling, living in a camper van, uh, doing what I do, what I love doing, and figuring it out what I love doing next. I guess that's my trip. I had a company in Sweden, so I used to be entrepreneur. Still I am, and my passion is to to hold space, to listen, and to like Eric is saying, ask good questions, and also like give guidance if needed, or like I love changing hats. So yeah, I see myself also as an artist, creator of arts, and celebrating life, and doing everything again what I can to make a future better by doing the doing the least, impacting the most kind of formula. Not overwhelming myself with the big problems in the world, but rather focusing on a solution. And I'm pretty tired of pointing the problems in the world, because we all know those problems. So it kind of feels unnecessary to even talk about the problems when we have solutions. When, as Meijing was pointing out, we have tools, and yeah, it's just kind of action time. And tomorrow here, I am at the moment in south of Portugal, Lagos, and we're gonna have a Bitcoin halving meetup with Bitcoiners coming from all over places, and we're gonna celebrate, and yeah, gonna bring my DJ set and play some music and dance, and yeah, talk,
Beautiful.
celebrate. Yeah,
Awesome. Celebrate
thank
freedom.
you. Yeah, indeed. And again, I will repeat, like, for me, what is the most important I think one can do is to be an example. So therefore, I'm very focused on showing up in integrity and truth as much as I can, as much as I am aware about it, and I'm willing to be course corrected, and yeah, walk the talk. That's my mantra.
I love what you bring up here, and I think that this kind of guides us into the next, I guess, like topic or. But how can we, really step into that, step up to the plate, to be the change we want to see? And it's really interesting that you bring up the example part, because Meijing, you so beautifully earlier said, so many people, they want to, they're focusing so much on the money that they're not focusing on the person. And I think that if more of us are the example, where we're willing to focus on what we're doing rather than what we're talking about, and as a result, creating that moving with a solution oriented, devoted path, then there's nothing that anybody can say to anybody anymore, because it's the action that speaks so much louder. So how can we empower more of us to be taking this solution oriented action, other than being an example, of course, but what are your guys's perspectives? I'd love to hear more.
I just wanna add one thing to what Eric
Please.
said, like to in example part, like not forget to stay a little bit weird. Weirdness, I think, brings joy, it breaks patterns, and that's what is like, yeah, weird. That's what I wanted just to say. That's it.
I think that's great. Definitely staying weird and not caring what other people are feeling or thinking, but about you. But what I was gonna say was, I think a huge part of like getting other people, and also at times I've experienced for myself, like to step up to what needs to happen, is getting over kind of whatever fear is there. And I feel like that is a huge piece that most people don't like recognize. They just kind of get lost in it, and then they just kind of toss it off like somebody will do it, right? Because the fear consumes them. But I don't know. I feel like honestly that's probably the biggest part, because people know that they have to do something. The only thing that ever really stops them is the fear of, like, I don't know, whatever, putting themselves out there. They might feel like they could get hurt again, or if they're too, they're doing something they're not comfortable with. I don't know. So it's like, how can we overcome that fear?
Eric, can you ask the question briefly again? I was solving a problem.
Yeah, no worries. So it's like, I just want to really touch on what Shah you've said, because then that will bring us back.
Yeah.
How can we overcome that fear, right? So it's interesting because oftentimes, right, in Australia they call it the tall poppy syndrome. So like, how do you like stop people from growing because they're like gonna stand up amongst the crowd? And so it's interesting because I see it all the time in different communities, in different places, where those of us that have the energy to be the example, to step through the fire, to really shine like the sun, all of a sudden there is so many things outside of us that there is a trying, or they're doing their best to limit that energy, or putting it into its box, into some sort of box that the mind has created, versus allowing the truth to come out through energy, because everything is energy, right? So if you're feeling an energy that is expanding somebody's mind, somebody's thought process, asking better questions, being curious, really shining bright, oftentimes what most people do, or most communities do, or even most other leaders will do, is saying, no, you're not ready. No, you're not prepared. No, you're not this or that. And I believe that all of us here, and many others that are seeking and knowing that they have this internal source and spark, don't need permission anymore. We don't need permission from any leader, any guru, any person. All we need permission is from ourselves. And once we give ourselves permission to step up fully and shine like the fucking sun, we can start to actually create that space for even more people. And this is the thing that I've always discovered, is the more that we step up to the potential that's within ourselves, the more we actually get to reflect back one another's wisdom. Because if I'm shining my brightest light and Shah's shining his brightest light, then that inspires Sagitas to shine his brightest light, and Mei Jing and Zane, and everybody starts to shine bright, and everybody starts to encourage each other. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And it creates that beauty, that weirdness, that love, that connection, the desire, that flow. However, it's as soon as we say, no, you're not right, Sagitas, I don't think so. Boom, boom, boom. This is why. Boom, boom, boom. I'm in the head. I'm in the head and I'm dead. I make him in the head. I kill him right off the hop. That is when we start killing people's perspectives and we stop listening to their discoveries, their wisdom, their creativity, their artistic expression. And that is because it's not what I think. And when I say that it's not what I think, then I'm making it about me. I'm making it about what I think to be the best truth. But I don't know what everybody's truth is. Everybody's truth is different. And if we start getting more curious about each other's wisdom, that because we all have different experiences, then as a result, that collective awareness will come together and we'll start finding even better solutions. So I needed to bring that out because that was something that just hit me and really wanted to share. But that to me, Meijing, is what I'm curious to know from you now is how do you feel that more of us can encourage this type of expression, this desire for more of the youth, and not just youth actually, because there's a lot of even adults, you know, or elders that are so stuck in their mind because of this old way of thinking that they actually don't even know that they're suppressing so much of the new generation. So how can we step up to the plate? I don't have your, we don't have your, we lost you.
I'm here. Yeah, like you said, it's very important for it to start with us. Because as soon as we start shining, things around us start shining. People around us start shining. So it has to start with right here, where we're at. Eric, me, Zane, Shah, Sigitas, all of us, and everybody that's listening and hearing, and other youth that are in this movement, shining and realizing that we don't need anybody. Like you said, we don't need permission. We don't need to ask for permission. We don't even need to go look for a blueprint. We just create our own blueprint. We have our own limitless potential to create. We have our own pen. It's a magic pen. We can draw, we can type, cursive, we can whatever we want. It's a canvas that's so open to build. And a lot of us, like you said, are just so stuck in the old conditioning, in the fear. And I was just talking to one of the youth yesterday, and she was telling me how, yeah, she really wants to start this, but she's just scared of what people are going to think. And she's just so much fear. And I said, well, you know, by not moving and staying like a reptile, you're failing. That's the worst failure, not even moving. So you're actually failing by not doing. So it's better to do and fail because it's inedible. So at least you're learning. But if you just sit there and do nothing, you're not even learning. You're getting nothing except just getting stuck in a deeper hole of fear, a limited thinking, and it's just gets deeper and deeper. So I say it starts with us. It starts with everybody here, shining and showing people the way and showing them that it is possible. And once we start shining, mirrors start coming around us that want to be, want also to shine. Everybody wants to shine, but they don't know how to do it. Like Shah was saying, everybody has fear. I love fear. I think all of us here, we work the best through this uncertainty. It's almost like a thrill. Like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I'm in. Let's do this. It's fun. But if there's like, if you tell me, oh yeah, you're gonna walk this path and this is where you turn a left and then you go straight, I'm like, no, why there? Why that? Why do I gotta go left? Why can't I go right? Or why can't I go straight? Or maybe I go backwards and then forwards. Why do I gotta go left? So I always question the path, right? Because why are we gonna follow everybody? Like, we can build our own path. There's not one way to get to the top. There's so many ways. So I just say we build our own path and we shine the way. We shine through our own light. So that's what I have to say about that one.
It's like all roads lead to Rome, you know? All roads lead to heaven. All roads. It's there's not one path. We all have it, it's all of the roads. And it's not here to be about anybody. It's about all of us, because as a result, when we realize that it's about nobody, it's about everybody. And I think that that's the greatest gift.
Wow, yes.
Zane, do you want to share?
Yeah, of course. So I really love the idea that you linked the concept of inspiration with energy, because there's a scientific concept of resonance. So we know that energy travels in the form of waves. right? So resonance is basically when one energy is traveling, all these surrounding energies, they are merged together and they form a really big form of energy. And the concept of resonance is if you put together the energies with same frequency, then all of them have a really, really big impact. For example, if you put two energies together, then they might have 10x more impact. And I think energy for the people works in the same way. So this is how people inspire others. So I mean the concept that you linked for with inspiration and energy, I think it's really the beautiful concept. It's very because it's explained scientifically, logically. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Can you take us a little bit deeper through that scientific logical connection, just for anybody that's listening, and from your expertise, so that anybody that is either watching it back or listening live can actually link those two things together, because you can explain it so amazingly. So I'd love for you to shine bright now, brother.
Okay, so I'm just a person who's very interested in the concept of physics. So and the resonance is basically a concept of physics and energy. So what I mean by resonating with people is, for example, if let's say you take the stage and you do your own thing, and someone's sitting there, they might have the ability to do it, but they're fearing that they might not succeed in that. And so when they see someone standing up and doing it, they might get the inspiration, the motivation to do it as well. And same goes for the energy. I mean, physical energy. So there's a really famous case of bridge collapsing because some soldiers are marching on there, and their steps were all synchronized, right? So every soldier was taking the step in the same way, in the same each time they touched the ground, all of them were touching in the same time. So what happened when they were touching the ground same time, it was creating a resonance form of energy. And through that, the bridge actually couldn't hold it. And I mean, it's a tragic incident, but it happened and it fell down. I mean, although the bridge was meant to be very strong, but through that energy, it collapsed. So resonance basically has a very strong impact.
Wow. So I'm curious to know, when you speak of resonance, is it something that most people, when they're feeling, because oftentimes in this circle, a lot of us are talking about we feel, but in most cases, people are talking about they think. And so there's this beautiful saying, when you're in your head, you're dead. And so is it in the place of feeling that people can start recognizing this resonance? I'm curious.
I think it might be because, as you said, that everything is energy, right? So I think feeling something is also a form of energy. But I think when you do something, the action is a bigger form of energy, right? So when you do something, I think the energy and the resonance concept applies more instead of when you're only feeling something. But I'm not sure about it. But I think when you feel something, you also resonate some kind of energy, because
So there's three levels of mastery. There's the first level that you talked about when you said think. There's a cognitive level of mastery, right? Once you get into the cognitive level mastery, it's like something, you kind of understand it, right? The second level of mastery is the emotional mastery. This is the feeling. This is the essence of the container of recognizing that feeling and communication from something deeper, from within. But the third and most important level of mastery is the physical mastery. And that is the doing, the being, the stepping up, the being able to move like lightning speed, with purpose, with devotion, with absolute fucking certainty. And when you combine these three levels of components, this creates the absolute level of resonance. So that's why our emotional mastery is such an important level of communication from something greater than ourselves, because as a result, you start to move with meaning. And when you start to move with meaning, you start to step up to any situation, because from such an internal place. So I encourage all of us, or anybody listening, and Zane, to when we're really bringing our feelings to life, We know, or we're saying, and our language is such an important part of that, right? Because whenever we're saying I'm thinking, we're in our heads. We're in our heads, and we're actually offering that to the people that we're speaking to. Like sometimes I'll even catch myself and be like, I think, nope, hold on, I know, like it's so funny. And I'm sure that if like we've talked about, like with Sigitas or Shah or Beijing, we've had these conversations, and I've done it. It's like, no, hold on a second, I know, because the mind tries to trick us so often. And this, by the way, what I'm sharing right now is a deep space of creating that space of resonance. So more people are like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about it, but oh, he's right. I feel that. I can be it. Oh my God, I can be it. I can move forward. I can be, like, and I think that that's what, like, we need to give each other permission, because I think at the end of the day, when we can give each other permission, we're ultimately giving ourselves permission.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very beautifully explained.
I love you, brother. It's so good to see you coming here from Pakistan. It's amazing, bro. I'm so inspired to see that more people from around the globe are coming. Sagitas, what are your thoughts? I'm curious to know.
About
how can we
like
step up to the
inspiration,
plate,
fear, energy. So
yeah,
yeah,
all of it.
few things was coming through, like to recognize the fear and then face the fear. Like that would be the one. Like and if it's difficult, to start facing the smallest fears and just doing it, but executing them, because they can accumulate. And about inspiration and energy, and this is my theory that I kind of pounding on right now. But what I see, if I feel inspired by someone, and it could be in anything, dancing or standing on stage and giving poetry or whatever it could be. If I feel inspired in that moment of inspiration, I feel I receive already all that knowledge that person already has. So it's already through inspiration, the energy I get transmitted. The knowledge, and I can already step into that if I feel inspired by something, just by pretty much like this. And this is where it's the unknown, it's uncertainty, but the knowing of that inspiration can bring the knowledge down from the quantum, because we always connected. We cannot be not connected from all it is. Yeah. One thing I wanna talk, like, to bring about youth festival a little bit. Maybe it's a segue, but I don't want to forget it. Since you are doing it in nature, and it sounds like it's a very beautiful environment. Some years ago, I did a course, I would say, or how to education or whatever, about right. It's called Rites of Passages. I went to the men's retreat, and with Arne Rubinstein from Australia, and I feel he could be very interesting puzzle piece to that event. I don't know what is your capacity. I could link you with, but what he does, he brings the forgotten knowledge and wisdom that is been used and still is used literally in all natural tribes around the world. The tribe, and that's one aspect that separates all the tribes that lives in jungles and all over the place from Western society, from where most of us, I guess, are. That we had not experienced a organized rites of passage, where he has the whole program. So, like, yeah, leading people in the unknown, leaving them there, preparing them so that everyone has to step forward to actually take that mystery. I think that, because and why is that important? Because in our development, the development when we are 11 years to 15 years approximately there, we need to break out from those limitations that we have inside of us. And that's why a lot of kids are in those specific ages turning to suicides and turning to doing some violence, because there is a screaming within from the inside to be seen, to be recognized. And his program is structured that after all that event, like the kids, he would lead kids also into something like this and into rites of passage. I don't want to uncover too much, if just in case if he would join to do it, but he would bring families to greet the kids again, like as not a boy, but as a young man, and then that young man or young woman already comes out, and and that's a rites of passage also for family, because mother has to stop calling a child, because that can be traumatizing, and it doesn't have to stop calling, but at least they have to cut release energetically the person into life, to walk and be recognized that, okay, now I am stepping into something new reality. So I think that could be a very, very good piece for your event.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sigitas. What's his name? What's the founder's name?
Arne Rubenstein.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we were doing this kind of rites of passage for people who are in 70s, and people were having very beautiful, emotional, and life transforming experiences. And that's the point, that nothing has to be taught, it has to be experienced, something like this, to guide, like in a safe container, guided into unknown, and then brought back in a new light of life.
That's beautiful. Yeah, our last day of the festival is called Unleashing the Spiritual Warrior, and it's literally focused on unleashing our fears and letting go and stepping into our limitless potential. So that would be a great day for him to guide. Happen. That would be beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, let's link those two.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that it's a great idea, and I also am so excited because I think that the more people are offering their perspectives at the festival, the more the youth decides what is best for them, versus needing to have one perspective, versus needing to have, some guru. Like I just love because it gives that expansion of awareness, and it gives that unity of acceptance, and where everyone feels super drawn to what resonates best for them. It's not about any one person, it's about every person. And I just keep harping on that, because I personally needed to travel the planet 3 times. I was telling Sagitas this morning, to figure it out. And I was like, I'm a really slow fucking learner. But in fact, like, it was the greatest thing that did, because I got to learn about so many different perspectives and cultures and teachers and things like this. And so, I mean, when you could bring that to any student or child or youthful person, you're bringing them so much wisdom, because you're bringing so much greatness to their doorstep, So great idea, bro.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. Global perspective. It's the best. That's how we are going to encourage you to think for themselves and not tell them this is the book that you need to follow, because we're writing our own books. So I'm 1000% in on that. this is great. The more minds that are in it, the more of a melting pot that we have, the better the taste. So I mean, that's so true.
I would even call it more than a melting pot. I would call it a mosaic.
Mosaic.
Right? Because a melting pot is like everything becomes one thing, but a mosaic, it's got like this art here and this like movement here and this dance here and this like, and it's got all the pieces and all the magic, right? And I think that that's, from my perspective, it feels more aligned to it's like a culturally conscious mosaic.
Yeah, mosaic has more of like life to it too. Sounds like it's more life to it.
Well, it gives so much more perspectives. I mean, from my perspective, you know, this is just my thought process. I'm not trying to push anything on anybody, but like, I'm curious, what do you guys think of, like, as what are you guys seeing from your perspectives, how the next generation, or how the generation that's building or wanting to build, what are you seeing that they are currently, maybe some of the challenges that the festival will help them break through?
I think I don't know if it's like, this is my perspective. I don't know if this is necessarily true, but I I've seen in a lot of people that I'm around, and also at times within myself as well, is kind of this feeling of like I think we're kind of one of the first generations that's kind of become uh more aware of like our minds, or maybe not necessarily all of us are aware, but that we become more aware that our mental health is important, right? And before that wasn't really as much of an aspect. And I think really the thing is that people feel like they want to, I feel like people, all of them at some level are seeking, all of us at some level are seeking to like be free of that kind of constant stuff that's been passed down and been passed down and been passed down. And I feel like maybe not everyone is at the level where they recognize that consciously, but I think it's becoming more of an awareness in this generation that like, oh, I am like running from something. Oh, I am, like fighting against this thing. There's just kind of more of this kind of awakening of what is going on that has been passed down that I want to be free from. And so I really like that Seguitas, the rites of passage thing, because I think that would help give a lot of young people that kind of peace that is so necessary. And I was like, when you were saying it, I was like, sign me up. I want to do it. But,
yeah, brother.
Yeah.
It's a very healthy process. It's like literally kissing the death. That's what we do, like so when we do the rites of passage in the jungle, for example, there is a real threat for death. The children goes, either puts the hands in with the hundreds of wasps in the gloves with 100 of wasps and experiencing the pain, or they have to create the rope and jump from the tower, like holding on the leg. But that's extreme. That's how they go. But we don't need that. But but it's definitely a healthy one.
Wow, that's really amazing. That's really cool. But never heard of anything like that. That you're saying that's not what we would be having done, though, right? I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, okay. I was like,
so you have no. Like it's
very bees or something.
Yeah, no, it's a very thought through process, and he studied that for years and years, and yeah. And he's just amazing human being. He's such a beautiful storyteller. So yeah. I hope he can be there.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that was my perspective on what I feel like young people are seeking the most. I don't know if Beijing, Zane, anyone else has a different one, probably.
Yeah, well, the age group that we're targeting is 18 to 28. So it's a very transitional state. So it's very crucial because what you decide in that stage is going to determine a lot of how your life is going to turn out. Obviously, you can move and change your whenever you want, but you really want, that's a really important stage, a very transitional stage for youth. So we want that space for them to, like Eric was saying, to have different perspectives. They can intake a lot of different ideas and tools, and there's going to be youth from all walks of life doing different initiatives. So they can take that and say, okay, this is my own. It's like Jim Rohn used to say, take advice, but don't take orders, right? So be the product of your own conclusion. So it's very important for youth to come and take all these perspectives, but then create their own conclusion off of that. And in that transitional stage, you don't want them to be stuck in this old conditioning making decisions. Because what's going to happen is they're going to live the life that everybody else is 80, 90, 90% of the world lives. So this space is for them to have those different perspectives to create their own destiny, to create their own future, and have the power to make their own conclusion, create their own conclusion. So yeah, most youth, I think that, well, no matter what generation it has been, that age range has always been a really transitional stage. And that's why we're so focused on bringing in clarity, bringing in industry leaders in AI and in future of currency, so people can take it. Oh, I do like AI. Oh, I kind of really want to dive into this future of currency. Oh, you know what? I really want to help others in this, or just seeing, like feeling it and really experiencing what is it that they like, not just reading it and hearing other people's opinions from their family and the society. So yeah, and like a lot of youth go to college just because they've been told to go to college, and then they graduate, and then they're like, what was that for? Now I have $80,000 in debt, and now I have to go get a corporate job to pay it. So yeah, we definitely want to break those norms and have them build their own destiny. So super, super, super important. And yeah, Zane was going. Yeah.
And also, don't grow up. It's a trap.
Don't grow up. No, it's a trap. That's a very good. Yes. It's much more fun to just joke around and have fun. It's a playground, like Eric. Yes. Don't grow up. Don't grow up.
And I think most importantly, they do get all these perspectives, but nothing is forced. They're also, we also teach them to focus on your own self. Listen to what your heart says, right? So this is where meditation is really important. So when you sit down, when you close your eyes, when you contemplate, you think what's your body is telling you, what's inside is telling you, and when you listen to that, you really, I think you become the best version of yourself. So I think this is the most important part of the youth festival. Yeah. And I think that's why we're a lot of this, as Meeting said, that this is a transitional age, and a lot of young people, they just get lost in the world. I mean, not get lost, but indulge into what others are showing them, and they forget what they want, what's important for them, right? And this is why it's so important that you sometimes it's your life. I mean, just sit down, relax, and think about what you want, right? So this is why I think meditation and all this stuff is really, really important. And this is what we're doing, what we want people to do. And we want to help these young people out there so they can understand themselves better, they can focus on themselves more. Yeah.
You know, the one thing that I want to share is that you guys come say hi to my mom. Mom, come say hello. So I was telling
Hey,
you guys
Mom.
about my mom. Come here. Say, look at this camera. Say hi, Mom. This is my
Mom.
mom.
Hey, Mom.
She's bringing me tea. She's bringing me tea, and look what it says on the cup: faith, hope, and love.
That's
Thank you, Mom.
Mom.
Thanks,
So
Mom.
That's beautiful.
You're not interrupting at all. It's fine. So one thing I want to share is that, like, I was sharing is like divinity is the cause of the good. This is true divinity. And divinity is always willing to move with that level of responsibility of good. So whenever we're feeling out of balance, like, am I doing my best to create from that space of good? Divinity is the cause of good. And so what the greatest slaves are in life are the ones that don't even know that they're slaves. And this is a profound for me statement, because yesterday I was listening to Plato's Republic. So I, as most of you know, I love reading and writing and all these things. But I was listening to Plato's Republic, and Plato, he talks about he was having a conversation with Socrates, and in the book they talk about how so many people, they fear, like, if we start fearing slavery even more than death, we will start to create a momentum of divine warriors. This is in my words, not theirs, but just so I'm saying, that's the essence of it, is like the essence of that devotion, right? Of helping people understand that if you start to fear slavery and you realize that you're actually so much been told that slavery is something that you don't even know that you're a slave to, then you'll start fearing that more than death, and you'll actually wake up the divine warrior, the cause for good, to really devote your life to the responsibility and joy and the playground all together, to start really moving with that level of intention. And that's what I feel that this festival is really bringing to life. It's really nailing it on the head. It's really stepping into this. And it's so beautiful because, like, right before that, we had Mama come by and say, hey, you guys, let's have like some faith, love, and hope, like, let's have a, like, this is all a gift, it's all so profound, the gift of having that support, that guidance, that love, that nurture, and this is the space that you guys are creating.
Beautiful. Thank you for summarizing that. That's amazing. Yes. Yeah, I'm here at the ACOM community, and people keep asking me, who's gonna be there? Who's gonna be leading? And I'm like, everyone's leading. This is a circle where we all learn from each other. There's not one person that knows it all. We all have something to share. This is what makes this so beautiful. We are all united, learning from each other. No matter how old you are, no matter what degree you have or what's your experience, we all have something to learn from each other. So sitting in a circle, that's why we have fire rituals or fire ceremonies every night, because we sit around in a fire and we share and we learn from each other and we just listen and connect. And it's not, you're right, I'm wrong, I give you my advice. It's just listen and take it in and connect. So important to sit in circles and say, we're all one. You have something to offer, I have something to offer. There's not one person that stands on stage and says, I know it all, listen to me, take notes. I've never been a good student of university because of that. I've never really understood that concept. So I'm more of a, let's sit in a circle and let's learn from each other. And that's a big part of this festival.
I just want to also invite anybody that listens to that, is why is that important? Because you're listening. Like one of the greatest parts of all of this is hearing, because we are so conditioned to listen to react versus listening, taking it in, and responding. And this is a key distinction from my perspective of what I've learned to refine, because I used to be a bull in a china shop. Like, hey, look at me, listen to me. This is me. But this is the gift, is actually when you realize that, hold on a second, how can I learn more from what's happening around me? You will start to hear something really profound. When this listening starts to kick in, that listening becomes a really nuanced behavior where you start hearing divinity.
Yeah, it's a lot. It can be a lot to take in when we start paying attention to everything, you know, because then every song speaks, the road signs start speaking, and it's like, what's going on here? Like, is this like, which way is going? Is this like it actually inside outside or outside inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, communication is happening all the time. I want to share one thing I learned from. I used to have a big fear of becoming artist or figuring it out that I'm artist. So I haven't touched the pencil for many years, and like I nothing to do with art. And what I learned from my own exploration of that fear and stepping into creation and painting and making an exhibition and like facing the fears, that the greatest of all judge I was to myself. So I highly recommend whatever you create, take yourself out of ability to judge your creation. Like literally don't let yourself to judge your art, whatever you create, because a lot of people can say, oh, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and what I see, the programs, the patterns in me and in other people is like, no, it's not good, like it's shining down, putting self down, and I don't think that's healthy by any means. Yeah.
I love that. And if I could add something to that, would be the judgment is not, don't get stuck on the judgment only of the bad one, also the good one. Because sometimes they'll be like, oh, it's great. If we just say
I love
it is, you know, I'm not gonna attach myself to the good or the bad. It's just me.
Well, judgment is also, which it's really interesting one, because saying to someone, hey, you look beautiful, that's also a judgment. And then we talk about judgment as completely one side negative thing, which is, it's not true, not the case, and ignoring the beauty of judgment. So yeah.
That's crazy. I never like realized that, the two-sidedness of judgment. That's really cool. I would say the other aspect that's kind of similar to which is similar to what you guys were saying was, Beijing and I were talking about it the other day. It's kind of it had to do with what you were saying, Sigitis, about like kind of attaching yourself to the result or saying it's not good enough, right? And how that's not healthy, is also celebrating like the small successes that you have, rather than, I would say, this happens for me at times. It comes in, it's like small success happens and I'm so thinking about the next thing that I don't enjoy the moment of like that happening. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I have to be better. I have to keep doing, instead of just like appreciating. So I think that's another huge aspect of that whole creation process.
I have also a good one about success. So when I created I got this idea to create a collection for mindset hats, and it's already alive and it's online. It's called mindsethats.com, so you can, like, I channeled the whole thing there by myself. But what I want to share about, determine your success. What is your success in your project? And for example, for me in Mindset Hats success, I was like, what is my success in this process? And what is, sorry, in this project? And for me, what it came, okay, if I gonna see someone copying my hats, that's my success. That then I know that then it broken through and it goes where it has to go. I don't wanna, like, it's not, since it's not about me, it's about the journey, and my journey is, my success is in the journey. And here,
Amen.
sitting with all of you, and it's already a success. Yeah,
I agree, brother. And this is beautiful, bro. Like, the success, the curation is in the journey. It's in the willingness to walk the journey. And this is like a devoted path that we've all chosen. So I just want to really acknowledge each and every one of your brilliance and wisdom and grace and kindness. And I'm excited to continue to co-create all together. Do you guys have anything else you want to share before we go? Actually, before, so make sure that you check out the festival. It's rqglobal.com/youth festival. Is that correct? Amazing. Please go check it out.
rqglobal.org/youth festival.
Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
.org. And if you guys have any last kind of comments, please feel free to share.
I just want to acknowledge you, brother Eric, for pulling this together and bridging what, like, youth, us, I see myself as youth anyways, but it's really honored to be in the space and to see the curiosity and willingness of you to show up better for humanity, for yourselves, and taking actions, curating the event, and inviting. Can we call ourselves elders? to be a part of that. It's really some kind of fulfillment, but that I also notice a lot of elder people than we are don't have a possibility to use the knowledge, not to use the experience, like, and then the death comes really fast. Thank you.
Yeah, I also want to say it's honestly, it's a great pleasure to be here, and I mean it's a great platform to bring in a lot of people from, different parts of the world. I'm from Pakistan, and all of you are from different parts of the world, and we're here sharing our perspectives, and I think collectively it's creating a sort of a combined idea, which I think is capable of making an impact. So yeah, thank you for hosting this. This is great.
I'm just super happy to be a part of this space and be able to, like, share our different perspectives without it feeling like one person is saying the right thing or the wrong thing. It's like we all just get to have, like, an open discussion and reciprocate each other's perspectives, and I really love that and appreciate that. So thank you.
Yes. Let's keep doing it.
Let's keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Meijing,
Keep walking the path.
Yes.
Hey, Meijing, you want to finish us off?
Yeah, I think, like, I would like to add something for us to focus on for the week, which would be celebrating the small wins and having compassion for ourselves, which is just something that I've been really focusing on, because I forget sometimes that I'm taking action, and only because I don't see the result doesn't mean that we're not moving forward. And just having compassion that there is movement, there is things happening, and loving ourselves. That's super important, because once we have compassion, we can have compassion for others. And we actually are changing our instead of saying we want to create conscious leaders, we really want to shift that to we want to create compassionate leaders because it fascinates so much deeper. Just wanted to make sure that I said that because it's so important to have
Amen.
compassion and celebrate those little wins for the rest of the
You're a
week.
blessing. You're a blessing. You are a blessing. Thank you so much, everybody. This is really profound. That compassionate piece is such a key part. Thank you. Love you all, and we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Much love.
Ciao.
Thank you.